Good morning, student. In theme 4, today we discussed about the Mahavira, Lord Mahavira. Mahavira from 540 BC to 468 BC. Mahavira was preceded by 23rd Tirathankaras. Tirathankaras means they are the teachers who guide men and women across the river of existence. According to the Jain Dharma, the first Tirthankara was the Rishabhadeva. 23rd Tirthankara was the Parasvantha, and Mahavira was the 24th Tirthankara. Now I am telling you about the birth, father, mother name, all these of the Lord Mahavira. He was born in the Kundla-Grama, Muzaffarpur district in present Bihar near Vaishali. His father's name was the Siddhartha. He was the Kshatriya's chief, belonged to the Kshatriya class. His mother name was the Trishla. She was also belonged to the Lichvi dynasty. She was the Lichvi princess. His wife name was Yashoda, and he had one daughter. But at the age of 30, he left home, and after 12 years, he attained the knowledge or attained enlightenment. And at the age of 72, he passed away in Pavapuri in Bihar. Now, the messages of the Mahavira, the basic ideas of the Jain philosophy. The main teachings of the Mahavira are that the entire world is animated. Animated means that entire world has a life. Even the stones, rocks, water, all one, they have the life. No injury to living beings, especially to humans, animals, plants, and insects. It means that nobody harm to anyone. Third one is the cycle of birth and rebirth is shaped through the karma. It means according to our deeds, according to our work, our birth or the rebirth, that one is on our karma. If we did the good deeds, good karma, then we will getting the in our next birth or rebirth we getting each and everything. But if we are doing the uh, bad karma or wrong deeds, so then our rebirth will be depend on our that karma. Now the asceticism and pinas. Asceticism means tyag or pinas means tapasya are required to free oneself from the cycle of karma. So asceticism and penance, these both are too much important in our karma. This can be attained only by renouncing the world. If we left or if we living this world, so this one is too much important. Therefore, that's why the monastic existence is necessary condition of salvation. Salvation means mukti. So then if we want the salvation, so we have to join the monastery where that we have to renounce the whole world and we live as a monks in the monasteries. Now the message of the Mahavira, the basic ideas of the Jaina philosophy. Jain monks and nuns both must take 5 vows. Vows means vrat. The first one is to abstain. Abstain from killing. And then second is to abstain from stealing. Chori karna. To abstain from lying. झूठ नहीं बोलना. to observe celibacy. Celibacy means brahmacharya, to abstain from possessing property. So all five vows every monks and the nuns have to follow. Now the Mahavira did not believe in the existence of God. He did not believe that God created and controlled the whole universe. It was all waste of time to recite the mantras or perform the sacrifices, Bali dena, all these things. He did not believe in all these things. The three essential for good life were. So they believed in these three things. The first one is right faith, then second is right knowledge, and the third one right action, good karma. These three things were called the three jewels or three ratans. That every monks and the nuns have to follow all these three essential things. Now the spread of Jainism. How did this Jainism was spread up? Like the Buddha's teachings were, as you know, that they were compiled by his followers. So the teachings of Mahavira were also recorded by his disciples. These were often in the form of the stories, which could appeal to the ordinary people. Here is one example of from the Prakrit text known as the Uttradhyana Sutta, describing how a queen named Kamlavati tried to persuade her husband to renounce the world. So, in the form of the stories, they were also told they spread their messages to the ordinary people. Then, Jain scholars produced a wealth of literature in a variety of the languages, such as the Prakrit, Sanskrit, and Tamil, and preserved in the libraries attached to the temples. So this one is also the main thing, that because their textbooks were also wrote in all these variety of languages. The next one is gradually Jainism spread to many parts of the India by their followers, by their disciples. Then many stone sculptures also connected with the Jain tradition have been recovered from several sites. And through in the subcontinent also we found these sculptures. So in this way we see that by their disciples, in the form of stories, in the libraries, by spreading the Jainism, their disciples, and through the sculptures, this religion was spread up in the subcontinent. Thank you, student.